I would like to introduce myself. As has been introduced, I'm the initiator of SONJO. And what is SONJO? You may check in your laptop. You can type sonjo.id. Yeah, just write it. This one. Unfortunately, I'm sorry that in the website it's not so much in English, because this is basically we developed this for helping each other, particularly during the pandemic. Yeah. So let's start. So this is basically the word that we would like to we would like to share with you. The interesting thing is the last one. We developed that kind of understanding after we ran SONJO, and then we had a discussion through WhatsApp group, and then we come up with the idea is that there are so many things that we can do if provided that we have one M. This is Indonesian word. It's called mau. What does mau mean? Mau means willingness. So long as you have a willingness, then you will be able to do all kind of things, basically. That is the idea. Now, what is the context here? The context here is that how to tackle the problem during emergency situation. Okay. So, what is called, we know the COVID. We are all suffer from, to some extent, COVID. Yeah. I don't know whether you were hospitalized or not, but to me, I was hospitalized twice. Yeah. And I also, at that time, during the COVID, of course, we cannot do anything. We have to stay at home. We even have what I call physical distancing, right? You cannot talk to people and freely, and then you have to cover everything with the mask and everything. It's devastating for us. This kind of gathering will be very rare, if we cannot say impossible during the COVID. But the question is that how to mobilize resources during that kind of period when you don't have any means of meeting physically. Usually, we help people by physical connection like this, right? Direct connection like this. But now, during the COVID, we don't have that kind of luxury. The question is that how to develop what I call social capital to help each other, to help people in these areas. So our SONJO only work for Yogyakarta, and this is the province of Yogyakarta. There are many people at that time asked us to work on other areas of Indonesia. But my answer is that no. Why? Because the base of working of SONJO is using WhatsApp group. So this is the social capital using the WhatsApp group, because we cannot interact directly like this. The problem is with the WhatsApp group at that time in 2020, the maximum members are 256 people. In SONJO, we have 30 WhatsApp group. So although my position formally is associate professor, that actually I'm professor in WhatsApp group, right? So because I know how to tackle, creating 30 WhatsApp group, that's all created by me, basically. So this is the situation. Now, what is the situation? This is the situation. This is Merapi. Imagine that Merapi in the night and in the day, it's look like that, right? But what would happen if the situation in the world changed rapidly? Now on, in the day, all of a sudden, next hour become dark like night. What would you do? This is the question, right? This is the situation that we face during the pandemic. Before the pandemic, you can do whatever you like. The the world economy works because of the crowd, because of the mobility. All of a sudden, crowd and mobility are forbidden. Yeah, what should you do? So this is the situation that we have. Okay, now this is the poster that was viral during February and March 2020. Look at that. And it was spread all over a WhatsApp group, and they always said like this: we are all in the same boat. We are in the same storm, but we are not all in the same boat. The question is that, to those who believe with this, what would they do? Any thought, please? Let's have a discussion. It's more on discussion. If you believe this, what would you do? Yeah, but then, will you help others? If this is the situation that you face, if this is the perception of the pandemic in your head is like that. Do you know what does it mean by high seas like that? If it is, you are in the boat and then they have like 3 to 4 meters of wave, have you experienced that? If you have experienced, then you understand that none of the boat will connect to each other, will try to link each other. No. Okay? Now, the problem is that, will it be possible? This is the Indonesian way. They call it, let me show you. This is the social capital. In Java, we call it as Sambatan. Sambatan is come the word sambat. Sambat is crying for help, but Sambatan is social capital. In Java, in the old days, when you're trying to develop your house, you don't need labor. What you need is preparing the materials and then preparing soup, snack, and also lunch, coffee, tea, and cigarette. That's it. In 3 days, voila, you will have house. That is Sambatan. I'll do it for you, you will do it for me, we'll do it for her, we'll do it for her, and then this round robin, this is the situation in the village. This is what I call Sambatan. That's why SONJO is called Sambatan Jogja. Okay? Now, the question, how can we do with this during the pandemic? Is it possible to work like that, physical cooperation like that, during the pandemic? No, but remember, this is the challenge, right? Okay, let's take a look. Okay, oh, sorry. Now, this is SONJO. We were formed on 24th of March 2020. Our first meeting was in May 2022. 2 years and 3 months after we formed and we work each other. For many members of SONJO, 2,300 people in 30 different WhatsApp groups. And this is the first time for us to know each other face to face. Oh, this is Mr. X. Oh, this is Miss Y. Oh, we have a collaboration in WhatsApp, but this is the first time we meet. Okay? The question is that, do people collaborate? Do you need to know each other first? My answer is no. No, you don't need to know that. You don't need to know personally. It doesn't matter. You don't have any identity so long as you can interact in the WhatsApp group and you have the same values, then you can work together. Okay? So now we switch to waste management, actually. Okay, so this is the mission of SONJO. The most important thing is that This is a mission-driven organization. And why do we have the mission of SONJO? Because we, since 2004, actually, we are in the process of getting the accreditation from AACSP. And that started in 2007, and then we obtained the AACSP accreditation in 2013. So by the time we do that, we got it, you know. So when we created the movement, the first and foremost that we need to define is two things. First is the mission, and the second one is the values. What is the mission? What is the values? Now, this is the mission. Our mission is that helping vulnerable people the mission is actually helping vulnerable people and people at risk owing to the pandemic of COVID-19. And then the values is that integrity, transparency, empathy, and synergy. The hashtag is that Ora no Senggari, no one left behind. Okay? And why do we use WhatsApp group? Because of course, first, we cannot work directly, yeah? And also the study shows that most Indonesians spend 3.5 hours per day on social media. And then what we ask is very simple. Spend only half an hour to work together in a social capital. So this is the situation, and we don't need any money. We don't accept any money goes to SONJO. Why? Because the most important thing is that money is not important. The most important is resources. Why do we know this? Because we are an economist. Yeah? We are economists. We use our economics to work on the social capital. And basically, the design of SONJO is based on two things. First is game theory. The second one is the experimental economics. Later on, I will show you, some of the principles in those, subject. See, so this is the development of 30 WhatsApp group in SONJO, and the orange one, this one, is the collaborative WhatsApp group between SONJO and other communities in different, maybe from different island or different part of Indonesia. Yeah. Okay, so this is the epic curve of Indonesia and the activities of SONJO and how the WhatsApp group has been developed through the time. Yeah. You may ask a question, wait, hang on, what about the values? How do you maintain the values? And at the same time, you creating the new WhatsApp group, and how you maintain the values of the new WhatsApp group in line with the old WhatsApp group? The answer is that the use of, This is the way to maintain the values. Later on, we will discuss deep on that. Okay. Now, what about the program? We have focusing in two things: the program in economy, and the second one is the program in health. In economy, we have 8 programs in economy and 13 programs in health. Yeah. So these are These are the name of the program that we have, and then you can see the some kind of a explanation about each program. And if you notice, it's actually we don't use Indonesian word. We use Javanese word. Why? Because we are in Java, we are in the center of Java. So, in order to facilitate social capital and to maintain the cohesiveness of social capital, then you need to use cultural approach. And the first thing that we try to do is using most of the terminology and even the communication within the WhatsApp group is using Javanese language. It's not Java language, not JavaScript, but the Javanese language. Yeah, the Javanese language. The Javanese language has 3 different layers, 3 levels. We have 3 layers. The top one is Kromo Inggil, and then Kromo Matio, and then Ngoko. Here is actually, there is another layers only for the king. It's called Bagongan. But we don't use that. This is only for the king. Okay. How complex actually the Javanese language? Even numbers are different across 3 different levels. Yeah. So here, for instance, this is 1, right? We call it as Setunggal. Here, 1, siji. In Indonesian, satu. You were born, if you were Javanese, you were born in these circumstances. It's not bilingual. It's trilingual sometimes. So what is the important thing of mastering Kromo, Inggil, and Matio, and etc.? Because if indeed that we don't have grammar, but the vocabulary is very tricky here. You need to use the appropriate, vocabulary in order to address 2 people. So if you use Kromo Inggil and Kromo Matio, it's always be soft. And the terminology is always be soft and gentle and respectful. So we use Kromo Inggil and Kromo to mediate the conflict within people in the WhatsApp group. If I talk in Kromo, nobody can answer in Ngoko because it will be considered rude. But if I use Kromo, it means I softer my message. So this is the conflict management that we need to do across 30 WhatsApp group. Now, of course, when we deal with other communities, we use Indonesian. Yeah, we use Indonesian because it's people from all over Indonesia. But here, my message is that just use what I call the cultural approach for working with communities. That's why this is the idea when I refused, hey, Pak Rimawan, will it be possible if you extend SONJO in Central Java? And I said, no. Or can you do it in Jakarta? And I said, no. And then they asked me, why? Because I don't know your culture, I said. I'm not Betawi, I'm not from Jakarta. So they have their own language, they have their own manners, they have their own habit. Now you need to, if you want to build, we can facilitate you, we can help you, but we need a champion on your side that doing day in, day out in there, not me. We can do this in Jogja because I understand the culture of Yogyakarta. So mother tongue, the use of the, how to utilize the knowledge of culture is very important in here, okay? So we have here, so this is, we do a digital transformation, this kind of thing, yeah. This is the pre and post. We develop, we develop a marketplace as well. The only difference is that we don't take into consideration the transaction. The transaction is using WhatsApp for each of the individual, but then the market list we created. If we, why is it that we don't move towards the marketplace for the transaction? Because if we do that, it's a hack. The resources that we require to maintain the WhatsApp or the apps will be enormous, and none of us was paid. So we cannot spend that kind of resources. Okay. So this is the transformation, and many of our members at that time, now this is the good thing. Yeah, in Indonesia there are many people have smartphone, but the majority of them only use it for WhatsApp, SMS, text message, and telephone, and that's it. They don't even use the Google map or anything. Now we're trying to teach them how to create market, how to involve in a marketplace, and etc. So this is a steep learning curve that we're trying to do. So how you do that? It's simple. If we want to teach people about how to market their product through a poster, we just ask, hey, hang on, ladies and gentlemen, is there anybody who are mastering in Canva? Oh yes, I do, Pak. Okay. Will it be possible for you to create a tutorials for 3 minutes tutorials and then put it in YouTube and then afterwards share the link to us so everybody can learn to use Canva? As simple as that. And then voila, next day, the person will create YouTube about the tutorials on Canva, and then afterward, many of the traders call me and they say, "Oh, Pa, well, we don't sleep for 2 days." Yeah. Why? Because learning Canva, learning how to use Canva. But it's afterward, and then we said, well, if you have difficulties, why don't you ask to your niece and nephews and or your neighbor, because they will be able to help you. And it's work, yeah, it's work. And then they can create a poster and everything, and then you can spread out. This is the way to run the economy. Okay, see this one. So we have etalase pasar SONJO. So this is the apps that we have. So people selling things like that. Do we receive any money? No. And then how to, if you want to order, there is a WhatsApp numbers in there, so you can connect each other, just connect directly. Yeah. See? So this is the WhatsApp. Just click it and then use WhatsApp. Thanks God, the people in Indonesia, mostly they own smartphone. So this is and we also have a catalog. And what is the best thing is that peer learning. Peer learning is excellent. Okay. So we have like a technology, for instance. This guy teach us, Hanung Sutipionto. The late Hanung Sutipionto. So he passed away during the COVID. But before that, he teach all of us how to do with vacuum packaging, and that changed the whole thing. Yeah, they changed the way that people market it. I help people selling food to Jakarta and things like that. Yeah, through this. So this is the question is that we have many groups here, and then of course everybody has your skills. The question is that what can you give us? What can your contribution from your skill that you can share to us? So learning from peers is very efficient. Okay. Now I just want to go directly to health program. These are the health program. I just give you numbers here. What are the numbers? We created the alternative of referral, patient referral, because the government patient referral, it just doesn't work quite well, and many doctors at that time were just furious because it is so difficult for them to refer a patient from one hospital to the next. And they asked me for help, and I said, okay, we will create the WhatsApp group. But it is we need to invite all of the director and the vice director of the hospital. And I don't know them. You are we asked our friend this is from ET, the Association of Doctors of Indonesia in Yogyakarta. So they are the one who invite those people. And then afterward, I asked, okay, what is the problem? The problem is in the referral system. The government created the referral system, which is so difficult. And I said, okay, if this is the case, we will use game theory. Use of what? The use of double option. Using what? Using Excel and WhatsApp group. That's it. So the whole system that is very complicated, that's government created, we beat them using double option of utilizing Excel and WhatsApp group. What is the numbers? This is the statistic. 150 patients can be referred to a better facilities. But this one only successful during the first wave of COVID, between December 2020 until January 2021. What would happen in the second wave, the Delta? The system collapsed. Why? Because all of the hospital was packed. So we cannot refer anything. So my system collapsed. I'm sorry. Yeah, but 150 patients. This one has been created by a colleague from the computer department. They created the system for the monitoring and things like that. Any question, please?
Yeah, in addition to what you said,
yeah.
I want to share a similar experience. As soon as I arrived at the airport here in Jakarta, and I went to the Grab store, they were using a similar referral system. They had a WhatsApp group in case the app crashed.
Yeah.
We're using a WhatsApp group to refer us, the customers, to any available
Yeah.
Grab drivers.
Yeah. So this has been formed during this period, actually. So, okay, let me continue, yeah? And then we also created one of the doctor in SONJO. They created the crazy things. It's something that is actually unconventional, because the referral can only be done from lower to higher level of hospital. But what we do is doing reverse. Yeah. If you are getting worse, you go from shelter. We created what I call shelter. What is shelter? Shelter is actually, it's not a hospital. But shelter is the place that asymptomatic patient can stay and rest in there. Because you're asymptomatic, it's better for you to stay in a shelter rather than you going around and then spreading the virus. Yeah. So who created the shelter? Us. Working together with the Ministry of Health. Because shelter is not the, It's not the hospital. What about their consumption? Well, we support them. So where do we get the money from it? So there are so many charities that want to help us. And the way we do is that don't send the money to us because we don't have any account. So what you need to do, okay, how much do you want to help? Okay, this much, okay, we will liaise with the recipient directly. So no money come to us. So there is no such thing as intermediary. We do have intermediary, but we don't take any money of that. Yeah. This is the shelter that we developed. Look at the numbers. 21 shelters in Kudus. Madura is the other island in Indonesia. 3 in Sleman, 1 in Kudus, 1 in Bandung. Even in Bandung, Bogor, Jakarta, we developed that. Yeah. This is the shelter. And this one is the donation. Yeah. So we have 50 shelters in Bandung, Sleman, Kudus, 71 volunteer group, 16 hospitals, 783 patients. And then this is during the Delta, it was scary. We need coffins and we need body bags. At that time, what we're trying to do is to create, to pack the cost of the coffin. And I said, if you sell the coffin to the coffin seller, we will buy from you, but the maximum price is 600,000 rupees. More than that, I cannot afford. But then, somebody calling me, and then they said, Mas, will it be possible if we produce it for free? Wow. Well, will you get the money? Oh, somebody, we had a sponsor. So this one, the Jogja Gotong Royong, they created 672 coffins. We have a hospital here, it's called Sarjito. Every day, 40 people died in there. So we have to provide 40 coffins per day, just for Sarjito. Including, we also give a training for taking care of the dead body. Because you need to create the way that you're taking care of the dead body is always using the COVID approach, right? So it has to be, and we created the training as well to the volunteers. Okay, and then we have mass vaccination. The mass vaccination is in rural and also in urban and also in rural areas. See, how much? This is what we cover: 175,000 doses. And then the value of donation is 1.17 billion rupees. And even the Minister of Health came and he saw himself and he said, this is the most efficient vaccination in Indonesia. Because it just costs only 6,000 rupees per person for the vaccination. Where do we store the vaccine? Is in the Faculty of Pharmacy of UGM, because they have special refrigerator, they have a special freezer that can, because the Pfizer need minus 70 degrees. So all the whole, Jogja, they store the vaccine in the pharmacy, the Faculty of Pharmacy in Jogja. And every day they have, police and army, they went there, day and night just to store and taking the vaccination for this. Okay. This one, so we have, okay, so now the question is that, how to mobilize resources? Okay, so the question is that, do we need the money? No, we only need resources. So the resources, how many of you from economics department? From economics? Oh, not so many, okay. And if you're in economics, usually you're dealing with the optimization, right? And budget line and also indifference curve, that kind of thing, right? But then, what is the budget line, actually? You can replace the budget line with endowment. Endowment, something that you endowed. Okay, now, let's have a discussion. What would you do during the COVID? What kind of endowment do you have during the COVID? Anybody? What kind of endowment, what kind of capital, intrinsic capital that you have during the COVID when you cannot communicate directly or meeting directly like now? What do you have? Yeah, but what kind of resources do you have? Yeah. Well, you need to help each other. So what do you have? You need to help each other because there are so many people died and things like that, ill. And then what kind of help can you provide to the society? What kind of resources do you have? And you can, what is that? Contribute to the society. Anybody? Anybody? Yeah, please. Knowledge, okay. Money, okay. Knowledge, money. Is there anything else? Knowledge, money, right? You know, what kind of endowment that we... What else? Anybody else? Yeah. Act of service, yeah, but then your act of service is very limited, yeah, because this is social distancing. Act of service. Anybody else? Please. Accommodation, okay. What else? Please. Oh, digital services, okay. Any more? Please. Logistic, what kind of logistic do you? Huh? Transportation, yes, we do have what they call SONJO transport. Yeah. When we did vaccination for disabled, we mobilized the ambulance and cars and things like that. Yeah, thank you. Transportation. What else? Please. How do you describe that? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so how do you call this? Okay. Any more? Please. Time. What else?
Medication.
Huh?
Medication.
Medication, okay. Medicine is actually is very limited at that time. It's not easy to obtain the medication, but that's okay. Any more? Professional service, okay, good. You have this. One more. One more. The most important thing. What? Huh? Food, water, it's logistic. Okay. Any more? One more. This is the one and the most important thing. Okay. Stakeholders management. What else? The last one. Anybody knows? Yeah. Hope. So how do you share your hope? Yeah. 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 That's the same with us. No support from the government, so you don't take into consideration the government thing. Yeah.
So what you did was she gathered resources from supporters. There were a lot of donations.
Okay.
From private citizens.
Yeah.
What she did was choose buses to bring the vaccines to the private communities, and I would say that was what brought hope to the.
But it's like again, it's like by helping people, and then the hope will come up, right? Okay. So it's part of the social capital. One more. The most important thing. What is that? Yeah, I give you. 1M. Mau. That's it. So we only have time and willingness. If you can spend that, that's it. We only need two things. Spend your time and you are willing to help. The rest is a history. Any thought, any comment?
How do you promote art?
How to promote Mao? Through the website, through the, what is that? It's through the values of SONJO. Through the values of SONJO. The question is that, why is it? Back again, please must put in the value of SONJO. Show the value of SONJO. Naik ke atas. Nah, yang ada logonya SONJO, terus. Nah ini. Okay, see. Look, the values of SONJO. That is the most important thing. This is, if you learn econometrics, if you learn statistics, you will hate me. Yeah. But if you learn game theory and experimental economics, and this is the way to mobilize people, then you need this. What is that? You're in economics, right? This. Self-selection bias. I have to create this. Without self-selection bias, you cannot separate those who are willing to help and those who are taking advantages. You cannot tackle the moral hazard problem. But the econometrician won't like it because they said, well, we cannot randomize then. The data is not randomized. And I said, forget about randomization. This is not about randomization. This is about how to help each other. And in order to do that, we need a pool of people who share the same values. The values is that integrity, transparency, empathy, and synergy, and there is no money in SONJO. So if those people, in the first place, there are many people contacting us, and sometimes some of them asking, hey, do you have any job? Well, hang on, I'm not entrepreneur or anything. If you're asking for a job, we don't have a job. But if you want to contribute, this is the way to contribute. So anybody, those who join SONJO, 2,300 people, they have the same values. Yeah. Why is it that integrity is the first and foremost to me? Because I'm my field is the economic of crime, and corruption is part of my main research. And I'm also active in anti-corruption movement. So in order to promote trust, then you need to have the integrity. Without integrity, there is no trust. And you have to implement consistently. That's why this movement can work for 3 years. As long as the COVID exists, we exist. Day and night, we work. For other people, probably COVID is too long. To me, it seems to me it's very fast. Why? Because I wake up early in the morning, like 5 o'clock, but I will sleep around 1 or 2. Why? Because I have to manage all of the 30 WhatsApp group. Is it hectic dealing with a WhatsApp group? No, actually. Well, it's like, some of the problem in WhatsApp group some problem will emerge in here, but then rarely it will come some kind of a simultaneous problem emerge altogether. No. Any more? Any question? Please? Oke, lanjut Mas, yang tadi. Yang bawah tadi. Dikeluarin aja dulu. Terus bawah. Yang pertanyaan tadi ya. No. Depan. Ya, oke. So, Another question is that, how do you perceive COVID? Is it non-natural disaster, or you take it as a war? To us, we take it as a war. And in war, what is the most important thing is that three things: logistic, logistic, and logistic. War cannot be won just because of the tactic. It's not because of the technology, but because of the logistic. Remember how the German lost during the Second World War with Operation Barbarossa. That's because their logistic is inadequate to attack Russia at that time. So this is the way we do, yeah. And then the question is that, do we know that, how long COVID will last? No one knows. Because no one knows, then we use what I call the approach in game theory. It's called infinitely repeated games. Imagine you play a game, but you keep playing on and on and on and on and on infinitely. Is it logical or not? It seems it's not logical, but this is the mathematician modeling how we live. We live, the way we live is like playing infinitely repeated games. If the concept in mathematics is just giving infinitely repeated game, as though that we have to keep playing the game on and on without any finish, right? But if you're trying to use it in experimental economics, that would be different. The question is that, how can you run experiment using the infinitely repeated games and you can get the result? The question is, the solution is simple. You play one game repeatedly, but you never know when it will finish. It can finish after 10 stages, it can be 12 stages, it can be 20 stages, but no one knows when it will finish. It's just like us. We know that at some point we will die, but we don't know when. So actually, the way we play is like infinitely repeated games. That's why in SONJO, nobody asked question. There was in the first phase, some people said, I hope the COVID will last soon. And then I challenged them. Well, hang on. You want COVID to last soon? Yeah. How? Is it us you determine that? No. So, what should we do? Let's work together. Until when? We don't know. Okay? So what is the most important thing? What is the most important lesson from infinitely repeated games? That we call it as delta sigma delta. It's delta sigma delta. The most important thing is that this has nothing to do with the accumulation, but the most important thing is that do it once at a time, but it's never finished. Yeah. Do it one step at a time, little by little, but it still continues. And then the accumulation will be huge because of that. At first, people will take in, they will undermine, what is that, SONJO and things like that. But every day we work, then we create outcome. Once we created outcome, many people join us. The more people join, the more resources that we have. Even in some meeting, we have a meeting in Zoom, for instance. I can lead the meeting, and then who are the members of the meeting are the government. Because we can consolidate, this is the government, this is the community, and things like that, and then we have a discussion. Okay, how to solve the problem together. And we don't have any personal interest. No. The personal interest is that we help each other. Why? Because we don't know when we will die. So we play infinitely repeated games. Delta, sigma, delta. Okay. I myself, at that time I was 50, and I also have diabetes, and I suffer from the asthma, including I also have a hay fever as well. So basically, at that time I consider high risk. So before I start in SONJO, my first question is that, can I last with this? Or probably I will die during the pandemic. The question is that, what can I do for other people? Then that's why we create the SONJO. Okay, so this is, and then how to promote the cooperation through WhatsApp group. Any idea? What is the most important thing of the cooperation? Okay, let's play the game. Mas goes down to cooperative game. Goes down again? Yeah. Bawah, appendix. Yeah, terus. Yeah. Okay. We have what I call pure coordination game. Suppose I'm player 1 and you are all player 2. Okay? Now, so if I'm player 1, so I have used the left-hand side, yeah? 9002. So I choose either A or B, you choose either A or B. The question is that, what would happen if I move first? If I move first and then I choose B, what would you do? If I choose B, I move first and then I choose B and you observe, you know that I choose B, what would you do? What is the best strategy that you choose? B, right? Because you will get 2 instead of 0. What would happen if I change now? I change to choose A, what would you do? You use A. So what do we have? If we play the coordination game, we have what I call the first mover advantage. So if you want to cooperate with other people, what you need to do? It's simple. You move first. Try to initiate the cooperation. They may turn down, that's fine. Probably you're not lucky, but if they accept it, that becomes coordination game. In coordination game, everybody will be happy, right? This is the nature of coordination game. Okay, next one. This is similar to coordination game, but then it's slightly different, reverse, opposite preference. This is what I call the battle of the sexes. But again, the similar thing occurs. What is that? The first mover advantage. You move first, I choose A, what would you do? Will you choose B? If you choose B, you become 0. If I choose A, it's better for you to choose A, right? If I choose B, it's better for you to choose B. This is what I call the coordination game. Again, the first mover advantage. But let's see, next one. This is the zero-sum game. It's like rock, scissors, papers. It's like rock, scissors, papers. Who will be the winner? Anybody who moves last. This is what I call the non-cooperative games. The last mover advantage. You want to prove? Let's play rock, scissors, papers. You move first. See? What should I do? It's simple. Wrong, right? Anybody who moves first during the non-cooperative game will be in a disadvantages. But anybody who moves last for non-cooperative game, particularly for the zero-sum game, he will be the winner. See? So, the social capital, in social capital, do we need non-cooperative game? No. We need this. Okay? Next. Next. Later on, go up. Sebentar, yang ini. Coba. Satu lagi. Ya, satu lagi. Nah, this. If you check, please check the what I call pro-social behavior. Any research on experimental economics in pro-social behavior. The answer is that pro-social behavior is intuitive. Pro-social behavior is actually intuitive. Yeah. If this one is fell down here, what would you do? You will take it now, see? If this one is fell down, he or she will take it. Do you need to think? No. That is what I call the intuitive. Good deed is actually intuitive. Everybody has that. It's reflex. But if you want to do bad things, you need to think it longer. Yeah? You need to think it longer. That's why we run the experiment. This is back in 2017 actually, but it just published in 2022, that we run the experiment by opening up, whether knowing somebody, knowing the individual is changing the intuitiveness. It's apparently knowing somebody is just increase the contribution, but create the pro-social become rational choice, not as intuitive. So that's why we come up with the idea of creating WhatsApp group that most of the people, they never met each other before, but we manage to work together. Okay? Now, yang leader atasnya ini.
Atas ini, Pak.
Ya. Satu lagi. Nah, this one. This is interesting, that we study in a business school. Usually we talk about leadership. Yeah. Leadership is in my opinion, is how to serve and to inspire people. This is different from managers. You can click later on in Simon Sinek. This is very good videos you can learn about the leadership. And to be leader, it is not necessarily that you have particular position. So we have two things, formal leaders or informal leaders. If it is formal leaders, then you need a position, CEO, director, manager, and things like that. That is the formal leader, president, and things like that. But running the social capital, you don't need position. What you need is trust. And trust is a function of integrity and reputation. Okay. Lastly, goes down to the Aksara Jawa, Mas. This is Javanese character. What is the most important thing here is that look at pangkon. This is the way to create consonant in Javanese character. Tidak. What is that? Yes. Yeah. Yes, what is the last is the consonant, right? So the way you write in Javanese is ya, sa. But then you put the pangkon, and then become yes. Okay. Now, what does pangkon mean? Pangkon is putting somebody in our lab. And this is Javanese culture. The way Javanese culture said is that if you pangku people, if you put people on the lab, they cannot, any Javanese people cannot do anything. So what does it mean? Back again to this is what I come up from the experience. To lead is to serve and to inspire. So the first and foremost for leader is how far you can serve people. How far you can inspire people. Any question, please? So this is my materials. Any question, feel free, please. Or you raise issues, something like that.
Can I ask one?
Please.
If I can, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just very interested in your story. I find your story was very fascinating. So what I understood is like this community-based. What I understand is that this community-based organization, they work together, they came together because they shared the same concern. As you've been mentioned repeatedly that there is no monetary incentive involved at all, right? So I guess what I have been trying to reflect is that how great those spirits, if it can be maintained. Those works maybe because it was under the arrangement of COVID-19 pandemic. And people were not satisfied with the government or those sort of things, and they just cannot help but to jump to the field and do something. So I guess I was wondering if you maybe ever reflect on how do we keep the spirit like this? Like, do we need something big, like a crisis to happen? I always see this as a humanitarian crisis. Or is there any other things that we probably can do to maintain this voluntary and mission-based spirit of the people? Thank you, Pak.
Thank you. Ini coba. Ya. Satu lagi atas. Apa tuh? Oke, satu lagi. Yang ini? Ya. Oh, satu lagi atasnya. Well, okay, this is a problem. Mungkin ini ya. Ini palingnya. Okay, thank you, Bu. So actually, well. The state of the nature, state of the world, the situation at that time is facilitating us to enable us to work together for 3 to 4 years with non-stop. Yeah. People are willing to do that because of the emergency situation. So but then the question is that, is it possible to create the scarcity or the sense of crisis? That is the most important thing. Yeah. We work together because we have common enemy. That's why the way we talk about change the perception in SONJO regarding the COVID-19. COVID-19 is a war. This is our common enemy. Let's work together to help each other. So that is the idea actually. So it depends on the context. If we have some kind of initiative, but then it doesn't create some kind of a sense of urgency and sense of crisis, it will be difficult. So this is one of the drawbacks in the in the social capital. But then next month. Next again. Okay. So this is regarding the sustainability of the social capital. So the social capital is always be function of trust. And back again, this is the most important. To me, to lead is to serve and to inspire. That's it. You may ask a question, well, Pak, what kind of benefits do you have? A lot. To me, it's a lot. Why? Because I learned lots of things, a lot of new things. It refined my knowledge about game theory and experimental economics. Yeah. And it shows to me that human being is actually, by nature, are nice. The question is that how to create self-selection bias, yeah, that make people get together. So that's why here we use, look, utilizing what are available locally, but then also using local culture. This is very important. That's why I always refuse if they ask me, okay, why don't we upscale SONJO to at national level? And I say, no. How many WhatsApp group that I can do that? You know, even in Jogja, it's just 2,300 people. It's 30 WhatsApp group, or 24 at that time, because 6 of others come from other communities. Okay. So back again, this is some kind of a situation that helped us, but at the same time is how to create the urgency, sense of urgency, and a sense of crisis. Unfortunately, sense of urgency and sense of crisis is very scarce in Indonesia. Why? Because we follow what I call the narratives of abandonment. The sun always rises at the same time and set at the same time, 12 hours a day. Nobody will get killed because of nobody will die because of you made a mistake in clothing, wearing your clothes and things like that. So that's why there is no sense of urgency and a sense of crisis. So if you can use this, can you promote the sense of crisis and the sense of urgency, then this will be very good. And SONJO was born because in the first year of COVID, the government do nothing. And even in the first part of COVID during 2020, the president was planning to invite the buzzer from all over the world to visit Indonesia and then to promote tourism in Indonesia. It's just crazy. Yeah. And even the Minister of Health at that time, he was a medical doctor. He didn't say anything, and then he just undermining the impact of the COVID. So we said, let's work together, ignore the government, do whatever we can do to help people in Yogyakarta. And then the local government start to join us and things like that. Okay. So this is the first thing. And then in January 2021, the Minister of Health was changed. And the minister was ex-CEO of bank. He was a banker, but he knows what he needs to do. So then afterward, we work collaboratively with Ministry of Health, and they become the leader, and we follow them. So that's good. That's good. Collaboration. Any question? Yeah.
Can I add to your answer?
Yeah.
So what she asked was, you asked, how can we maintain that community, make people serve, inspire, to always solve problems. I believe it's to make and inspire more leaders. Because when you create more leaders, who is a leader? Is someone that will always strive to lead and serve with no intention to receive any monetary or any benefit. It's only the feeling that they get from serving other people and solving other people's problems. And when you create so many leaders, so many people that always want to solve problems and strive to lead and serve people, then that's how you can maintain that community, by creating and inspiring more leaders. That's what I think.
Yeah. Now another question is that how could, if you're a businessman, do you need to do this or not? You need to, because a good business is usually start from values. Try to check the multinational corporation mission and also values. Procter & Gamble, look at the website of Procter & Gamble, and they have values in there, they have mission in there. And their mission is not only just profit-oriented, no, serving people. So it seems this one is this all of the discussion here is just only social capital? No, actually. That's also involved in the business as well. If you can link between the societal needs and your business, then your business will be flourish. Why is it that people love YouTube? Why is it that people prefer to use WhatsApp rather than anything else? You can check actually. If you're Indonesian, you can check that my telephone was hacked in September 2019 because I supported KPK and refused the draft act of KPK. They hacked me. They hacked my phone number at that time. Yeah, and it's good. At that time, I was, we had a movement. It's called UGM Berintegritas and also Integrity of UGM. Within 3 days, we managed to accommodate to about 3,000 academia from all over Indonesia to sign a petition to refuse the draft act of KPK. KPK is the Corruption Eradication Committee. They're trying to soften, trying to reduce their effectiveness by using the draft act. Okay, and 3 days I managed to gather about 3,000 signatures, but then in the 4th days my telephone was hacked, and we had a discussion at that time. Well, somebody told me, your mobile was hacked using a Pegasus. Okay. And then in the evening, there was a telephone call from Paris, from Washington, and things like that. But when we pick it up, there is no voice. And that kind of telephone is not only to me, but also to the members as well. And then we trying to switch from to something else, like a Signal, using Telegram and things like that. But it's not easy. The technology acquisition is not easy. So when we're trying to regroup into the Telegram and also the Signal, it doesn't work. People prefer to use WhatsApp group. Okay, that's why when I start again in 2020 to accommodate again, and I said, okay, if you want to hack me, please hack me. Now this is the time for hack me. Why? Because you will face Yogyakarta people. You hack my numbers, you will face Yogyakarta people. Yeah. So it's safe. But then the changing the use of the media is not as easy as we thought. That's why we still keep using something that is, useful for people. That's why if you are the developer of the Zoom or WhatsApp and things like that, you get what people need, right? You enable people to use that. That's make it life easier. Like WhatsApp, Facebook, and also YouTube and things like that. Okay, so that's why this is the link between the needs of people and also your businesses. If you can make it in the same way, that will be excellent. Any more? Any more? Please. Yeah.
Interacting with one people. Do you have any insights on the differences, like in both social and business context, when interacting with Japanese people or like other Indonesian? Is there any differences?
It's just only the way. There is no difference actually, but it's just only the way to communicate. That is the difference. Yeah. If I talk to Japanese and I'm starting to the discussion is heating up, then I will switch to Kromo. Yeah. Highly Japanese language. The one that here. I will use that. By the time I use that, it will soften the tension. Yeah. But if I talking with other people, Indonesian, but then from different different ethnicity, then of course I will use the Indonesian. Now the Indonesian doesn't have this kind of a stratification. So the probability to have, heating up discussion will be much higher if I use Indonesian rather than using the Japanese. Yeah. So back again to like in the beginning, we said, know your enemies and know yourself, and you never be in peril in 100 battles. This has been discussed by Sun Tzu 2,500 years ago. It's still applicable. Please.
Actually, I have a question regarding the sustainability of fiber research. So, one of the things that you mentioned before was about the fact that it not too much being reliant on local leaders or
Yeah.
powers, but on trust.
Yeah.
So, I see where this may be useful, just the ones you pointed out, but sometimes it kind of reminds me of feudalism as well. So, like, in a negative way, it kind of opens the door towards authoritism, like nepotism, and like stuff based on meritocracy and lack of accountability. So, like, isn't it like quite a bad thing as well? On the other hand.
Oh, that's why here the first values here is about the integrity. In integrity, there is no conflict of interest. There is no nepotism. What we do have is meritocracy. So we always ask, who are the expert here? What I call as the expert is not necessarily that you are the academia. You can be like the Pak Hanung who shared with us about the vacuum seal. Yeah, he is an entrepreneur, but he is the first one in Jogja who implement that. So we said, will it be possible for you to share your knowledge to all of us because you are the expert? And then when he shared, it's just enormous. That's lots of tips and that he said it at that Zoom. And many people was benefited because of that. So that's why values here, it's like what Pak Anies said. Yeah, values is important. So the mission and values is very important. You may ask a question to those who study business. Probably you ask, why is it that you don't have a vision? And I said, it's irrelevant. Why? Because this one, SONJO, has been developed during the pandemic, during the emergency. So what do we need to know about the future? We want to be safe. That's it. Yeah, we don't want to have become organization. This is the top organization in the world. No. You don't need to do that because this one is in the emergency situation. The aim is that how to create safety as much as we can. So vision is not important, but mission and values are the key. One more question, comment, please.
Isn't vision the same as mission?
No. So here, a vision, we don't need to do a vision. Because usually, mission is that, why is it that your organization exists? That is the mission. Vision is that where you want to go in 5 years' time, 20 years' time, 30 years' time. But because this one is under the situation of a pandemic, well, everybody wants to have safety, right? So we don't need to spell our vision. Because everybody knows that we help each other in order to survive. So the most important thing in these circumstances is that mission and values. This is our mission, this is our values. And this one is every time we have a conflict, every time we have conflicting situation, we always back again to the mission and values. Is it preaching our mission? Is it preaching our values or not? Okay, I give you an example, for instance. In August 2020, in August in 2022, there was a big foundation contacted me. And then he said, "Pa, will it be possible that we will cover all of the vaccination that you do in rural areas? Is it possible that we discuss that? Okay, let's have a discussion in Zoom." And then he said, the way you do it is that using, what is that? We call it as a jimpitan. Jimpitan, this is some sort of like a contribution, small contribution. The maximum is just 6 million rupiah per 1,000. 6 million in pound sterling, probably about, how much? 400 pound sterling. Yeah, 300 pound sterling, basically. Okay, 300 pound sterling. But then we created, because this one has been auctioned in the WhatsApp, who will contribute? And we created the rule that the maximum that you can chip in is just only 1/3. Why? Because we want to have the crowdfunding. Now, this is the foundation. The foundation has been financed by a big company. They want to cover all of the costs, but then the logo is just only using theirs. My reaction? No. We want to have crowdfunding, and if you want to join, maximum that you can do, you can contribute only 2 million. And you have to share your logo with other companies. Yeah, but we have lots of money. We can cover all of your expenses. Okay? You can say it now. What is this? Today is August. That was in August. Okay. Now, can you tell me like this, with a similar tone like that, in December? In December, you're running out of money because your parents' company do not have any money. They have to consolidate the financial statement. So you don't have the money in December or January. Will it be you be cocky like this in front of me that you will cover all of the costs? You're just silent. Look, you're about to ruin our social capital. Because if I cover all of the money from you, then there is no such thing as a social capital in the field. Because they thought that I will taking the advantages of the money. And then they start to think, well, Pak Rimawan will be very, very rich, and we just work this for voluntarily. The voluntary thing will be collapsed. So there's nothing to do with the money. Because you cannot buy you cannot buy the willingness, you cannot buy the self-selection bias to help each other. So they pick off. Okay, thank you, folks. So I have to fly soon, so I'm sorry. I apologize if there is some, in the delivery, there are some caveat, but thank you for your attention. Thank you very much.